Hello everyone, welcome back to the Life and Times of Mulch. That's me. Today we are building not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 more stages of build the iconic E.T, the Extra-Terrestrial. It's going to be a long one, apologies now. Let's get creative. Whew. Come on! Hello everybody, welcome back. We are building E.T, the Extra-Terrestrial again, and we are on the next pack. And what a pack. We've got 6 issues. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I will try when I edit it to keep it as short as possible, because I know the last thing you want to see is me rambling on for ages and ages. So let's crack on and go straight in to stage 9. So this is the book. Every time I see this picture of E.T, I can't wait for it to be built. Anyway, this is the book. So I'll just have a quick gander through here. I hope everyone's well. We're going to be doing or starting the eyelid mechanism and mouth servo motor, number 1. So that's all our instructions. And some more of the magazine. I like that, that's very good. Sitcoms of the 80s. Oh, there's Alf. Anyone remember Alf? Family Ties, Michael J. Fox. It's a classic. Right. And here is everything we need in stage 9. So quite a few pieces here, including another motor. There's going to be lots of motors in this. What we're also going to need to do is bring over what we've created in the previous packs. So make sure you've got that to hand. Let's see where we need to start. And we want this piece here. It's got some cogs or some spikes for a cog on there. So that's what that piece looks like. Okay, so this piece is actually just going to go over there. So you can see your cog that's sticking out there. It's going to line up with the teeth on there. So obviously that's going to be able to move up and down. Before we screw it on, we've got 2 of these plastic washers that are going to go over the top, and then once you've got them on, these nice big chunky screws and chunky back screws, 1 in there and 1 in there. So let's get that screwed in. Okay, so 2 screws in there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece that's got a hook going that way and 1 hook going that way. This bottom hook we are hooking on the eyelids of E.T, just on here. So that's just going to simply click onto the underside of that. Okay, and then this bit is going to go on the piece that we've just put on. So that's going to go on there. Now let's put E.T to one side for a minute. And we'll take this piece, this plastic section here, and you'll notice we've got 2 holes, 1 there and 1 there, and we need to put these 2 rods in them 2 holes. They're both exactly the same size. So 1 goes in there and 1 in there. Then we have 2 cogs, and these 2 cogs, again, exactly the same size, so it doesn't matter which one goes on which. 1 over there and the other one over there, so they will move together. Once you've done that, you want to cover them in grease, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, once you've got that greased up, you want to get your motor, and your motor is going to go into this cavity just here, and we want to get this end of the motor all greased up as well. So we'll just get a little bit of grease on there and then we'll put that back in. Okay, so that's going to look like that. All right, the next thing it's just telling us to check is we're going to take our test box, hook it up, and we're going to test that this is moving the eyelid. So let's connect all that up. Okay, So what they're telling you to do is when you plug it in, it should push forward like that, and then you just push it back. And you turn that off, push it back manually, and then push it, and then so that works fine. So stage 10. Have a quick look at the magazine. And we're going to be doing mouth servo motor 2 and eyelid mechanism 2. So a lot more moving parts. A bit more of the magazine there. Behind the scenes. African sitcoms of the 80s. Cosby Show. Probably shouldn't talk any more about that. And here is our trusty bag for everything in stage 10. Let's get it open. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring over this that we've started here. And we need this large plastic piece here and the corresponding cog. It's got a square end on there, and that's going to go over the longer square end. So just push that over. So it's going to look like that, fairly hefty cog. And then the other end of that is going to go in there, and as you can see, it hooks up with the other cogs. So we're going to put that back in a sec. We'll just put a little bit of grease on it first. Getting grease on everything. Okay, so once that's got all the grease on, that should hook up with the other cogs that you've put on. Once that's all done, we can take the other half and we can now enclose that all together. So let's bring this up, put that over so it goes over all the pieces, making sure that that sticks out the middle. And then we're just going to secure that with 3 big black screws. So let's do that. Just a heads up on the screws in that bag. They were mixed together. There's some like flat head cross screws and there's some rounded head screws. It's the rounded head ones you want to put this piece together. Okay, and that should look like that. All right, now we need to take this grey piece and it's going to go over the white cog. Sorry, just re-screwed that. Because this square bit, you want to try and have it so it's that way round. So when you put these grey bits on, sorry, everything's getting covered in grease. When you put this bit on, it's supposed to be pointing downwards like that. And then we're going to put one of them other black screws in with the flat top. Okay, so that's pointing down. And then when we do the other side, that one should be pointing down as well. So it should be pointing that way. And then the black screw in that one as well. Okay, so just go back over that. They should both be facing downwards. What it's saying to do now is this piece that we've put in issue 6, we have to remove. So I think it's just these 2 screws here, not these ones, because that's holding the whole case together. So just the 2 end screws. It also says to take this piece out as well. Right. Now we've got this piece here, this mechanism on the wires. We need to put this, so the 2 holes are going over these 2 lugs down here, and you want to put it on so it's facing that way around. I'm going to try and explain this as best as I can. There is this piece here you put over them 2 lugs. Then the wires, there is a hook just here. You hook the wires around that, and then the wires go over this piece and down and through the hole, so when you turn it over it will come up and through. Sorry, I got wires everywhere now. It will come up and come through there just behind that box. So just to say again, over the lugs, under the hook, over that piece, and then down through the hole. I hope that makes some sort of sense. It's quite tricky, so just take your time. Once you've done all that, you need to put this piece back in there, and it's got to go this way round, facing down. So it needs to go back in like that. Your motor back on the top. Trying to remember to engage that silver piece. It's got to go in the middle. So just hope and pray that that goes in the right piece. And once you've got that back in there, screw that back in. Okay, and screw that back down. I'm hoping beyond hope that's right. So underneath you should still have these wires coming out of here, and on the top you have this motor and these wires coming out in front of that box there. And that's all there is to do. That's all there is to do. That's everything in stage 10. Let's move on. Now let's move on to stage 11. I hope we've all managed to keep our heads with stage 10. That was pretty tricky, so just bear with it. Just make sure that it goes under that hook, over and in through the hole. Anyway, this is book stage 11. A quick look through the magazine. We're going to be doing the mouth mechanism, mouth servo motor mechanism. So yeah, so that's all the instructions for that. All E.T.'s face expressions. I don't know how many face expressions we're going to go. Look up! He's probably just noticed stage 10. So this is everything we need for stage 11. Let's get it open. Just to note, in these bag of screws, they are all the flat screws. So we're going to need to bring over this completed motor section with all the cogs that we've started creating. We need to bring that over. And we've got two paddles. Obviously, one's going to be left, one's going to be right. Now the ones with the pins on, don't want that one yet. We want this one with the holes in that bit of the paddle. Okay, so that's what it looks like on that side, and that's what it looks like on that side. That's going to go over there, so it looks like that. And before we put our screws in, remembering to put our plastic washers over the top like that. Then screw them in with them flat-headed Phillips. So that's going to look like that. And then we're going to basically do the same the other side. We're going to connect them up, hook them over, put the two washers, and then two screws. So let's get all that screwed together. So that's going to look something like that. Then we're taking these side brackets. There's a groove on one side, smooth on the top, and they're just going to push in. Apparently they just push in either side. So that'll look like that. That's nice and easy. It's the easiest thing we've had to do so far. Now bring over the ever-growing head with all these wires, and we want to turn it upside down. We also want to take this and turn this upside down so it's facing that way. And as you can see, got two lugs on here, and they're going to correspond with those brackets on there. We're going to put washers over the top of those on either side, and then a screw in there, and that's going to be the same on both sides. I don't know how far back we're supposed to put them, so I've just screwed them like that for now, there and there. Okay, done a test on there. And as you can see, that's moving quite nicely. Just be careful and make sure that these bits that you put on earlier are nice and straight, because any sort of kink they're going to catch, and that's what mine did. So I had to take these off and straighten them up and then put them back on. So that is everything in that issue. So we've got a mouth for E.T. Let's go on to pack 12, stage 12. Quick look through the magazine. And we're going to be doing some of the upper structure of the head. See, I can't even read now. So it looks fairly straightforward. I missed a page there, sorry. Rubik's Cube. A lot more straightforward. We've got just 3 screws with the rounded heads. And we've got this big section here. Okay, so we've got the head. Turn it the right way up. This is obviously going to be for this side. Okay, so this section here, you've got, let's put that upside down for now. So you've got this lug, this one and this one, and they're connecting up on here, and on here. So it's going to go something like that. So hopefully that should look something like that. Okay, I hope that's clear. And stage 13. Bit about Drew Barrymore there, Gertie. And we're going to do the opposite side. Charlie Chaplin. The birth of hip hop. That's something you never thought you'd see in a E.T. book. Now, as I understand it, 13 is very similar to 14. It's just the opposite side. So again, you'll have your 3 screws and this piece of the top of the head. And again, we'll go in the same spot. So there'll be one there, making sure you don't trap any screws. One there, and one there. Now, before I put this on, it doesn't say to put this wire through this hole. I'm not going to put any of them wires down there. I'm just going to wait and see what it says about that. Also, before you screw them in, just connect all your sections together. So there's a pin at the front, there, and at the back. Push all them in and then get them screwed in. Now, I can only apologise now if this video is very long. I will try and edit it down as best I can, but I don't want to edit it down to the point where it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it looks impressive. It looks like E.T.'s head, so that's half the battle, I'm sure. Anyway, let's go on to the last stage in this mammoth pack. Finally, stage 14. I bet you thought we'd never get here. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's me. Let's have a quick look at the magazine. The eyes. There's one thing that concerns me about this model is the eyes. It seems to be making a very loud noise for the eyes, which is a bit disconcerting, but we'll see. It might be alright. I might be worrying about nothing. This is stage 14. Very little in here. Another one of these big sections. And one screw. And it's for this side. So as you're looking at E.T., that's his left-hand side. Anyway, there's a lug on the end here. It goes in the end of there. There's another one there that goes into the that corresponding, and the only screw is one there, and that will go, let me just double check, yes, that will go over in that hole there. So place that over that section there, and over that section you might have to do a bit of pushing and pulling, and that should also line up at the back there. That groove should line up. Let's get a screw in, hopefully that will pull it all together. Okay, it has pulled it up a little bit. There's no clip or anything there, so don't worry that there's a gap, because there's nothing to pull that in. There's no screw, so there's just the one screw and then tabs at the front which we've got in. So that is looking like that. I mean, it's very impressive. Let's just hope it works. Let's have a chat. Stressed yet? I'll tell you something. Wires, motors, just electrics in general, I've had enough. And we're only on the head, but as you can see, it does look very, very impressive. And there's some weight to it. I haven't weighed it, so I can't tell you the exact weight, but there is heft to this, and this is just the head. So this is going to be a heavy thing. I don't know if it says actually in the book what the actual weight of the whole thing is, but it's going to have a hefty body because the head is getting some heft now. You can't really see what we've done, but we have done a lot. We've done a lot of motors and gears. We've added the gears and motors to make the mouthpiece move. You saw that in the video, hopefully. We also did a part which I wasn't happy about, that we had to take apart this section here, take it out, put a little electrical piece in. It doesn't tell you why we put it in. It doesn't even let you test that piece. And feeding it around the hook and through the hole was a nightmare. So I hope you have better luck than I did. I mean, I got there, but there was a lot of swearing. There was a lot of, I can't do this. But I did get it done. My only concern, and I think I had a comment about it actually about this, is when I do the motor for the eyes going left to right, it's really loud and I don't know how to do anything about it. I remember I went back initially and I put more grease on the gears, but I don't think it's that. I think it's the actual motor that is making the noise. And so I don't think there's going to be anything I can do about it, which is unfortunate. Because otherwise, most of the other mechanics, like the mouth is very quiet, the lids are very quiet. But like I say, I don't know what this little wire is going to do. I have no idea. But it's in there. I just hope it works, because it didn't say to test it. We weren't allowed to test it. In fact, it's got two black wires, so maybe that's why we couldn't test it. I don't know. But I don't know what that does. I just hope it works. But what else can I say? Yeah, it was stressful, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And but 6 stages. I think 6 stages in one go is too much. I really do. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but if I do it, when I've edited it, it's really long. I think for the next 6 stages, I'm definitely going to split them up into 2 lots of 3, because it's just too long. It's too much. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and me and E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial will see you next time on the Life and Times of Mulch. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you again. I need a light.